Thread tracing, or thread marking, is a form of basting. This technique is used to transfer markings to the right side of the garment fabric, so that in fittings, the designer can see style lines, or this is often used in marking a hemline so that you can make sure that it is perfectly turned up at a straight line, or the desired line. So we are going to begin with the back stitch, but only one back stitch because this is temporary and you're going to have to take out all of the thread marking once you finish the construction of the garment, and you want that to be as quick as possible. So that's why we're only doing the one back stitch. And then you are going to, on the right side of the garment, which we are considering this side, the right side of the garment for today's sample, we're going to do a 3/4 inch stitch. And then on the wrong side of the garment, we're going to do a 1/4 inch stitch. And that is because you really only need to see this thread tracing on the right side of the garment. So that's why we have the bulk of the thread visible on the right side of the garment, because you think of it like being able to draw with a temporary marker on your garment. And when we get to a notch, which are used on patterns to indicate where different pattern pieces match others, we are going to do a perpendicular stitch. So I'm going to come out at the edge of this notch, and then I'm going to do this perpendicular stitch to the other side of the notch, and then I am going to come up from the back of the fabric a little bit farther along, a 1/4 inch along, and then we'll do another 3/4 inch stitch with a 1/4 inch stitch on the wrong side of the fabric. And if the spacing doesn't work out perfectly as you come up to your next notch, that is okay. The stitch can be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. And when I have 2 notches in a row like this, I am just going to cross from the back of my fabric. So it's going to look like that. And I'm going to come out on the other side, do that perpendicular stitch across the back, and I am going to come out a 1/4 inch farther along on my seam. And then when I get to the end of my seam, see, I only had room for about a 3/8 of an inch stitch. That's okay. I am going to do one back stitch, and making sure I haven't over tightened my stitching. It's laying nice and flat. And so here on the wrong side of the fabric, this is what it looks like. So you can see how that would not be a very helpful line, and that on the right side of the fabric, where we are trying to indicate to a designer or the stitcher where a style line is going to be, or where we're going to indeed fold this over for our hem, we have this perfect guide to work with. That will be really easy to remove once we're done kneading it.